Okay. Oh, somebody's talking on the radio. How about that?
Yeah, okay. Is that any better?
Yep, they are. How about that? That's New Mexico Breakfast Club 3939, where they all get on and talk. I've been working on this part of the video for 2 weeks. I mean, seriously, I have not been able to get this part of the video done right. I don't know if I showed you last time. I gotta put baby on his leash so he doesn't run off. Hang on just a second. Come here, baby. Okay, that's done. A week or so ago, I did a video, showed you that this had broke. The filters had broke. So I turned everything down to help it drain, relieve some of the pressure. Also, the red hose. How it got cut, that I had to replace the red hose. And so we weren't getting any water. I was trying to figure out why so much rain. So I fixed it. Down here we have two cameras. I don't know if you can hear me in the wind. But we had these two cameras that went belly up. So we got better cameras. They're still the Zomoto brand, but they're a little bit more stout. And I also redid the wiring on that because I had to cut the wires on the old cameras to get them out. The Zomoto cameras are super easy to set up. If you need security cameras, you do need internet, but to make them work, but they're really worth it. They're only like $99 for 4 or something like that. They work great. I'm going to add to this video, I'm going to add a video of Bob, the bobcat, that we got at the end. Baby's tied up. Got to get him untied. Okay, he's untied. All right. Now, what I've been having problems doing, let me turn the squelch up on this, is getting a communication video put together and a EM Pulse solar flare protection video. There's no guarantees, none at all, that you're going to be able to survive EM Pulse or a solar flare. I mean, your electronic equipment is sensitive enough, it's going to get fried. So what you want to do is you want to put everything. You want to have extra inverters, extra charge controllers, all your solar stuff. You want to have extras. Lots and lots of extras. I'm going to have to close the front door. House is going to blow away. But you want extras, and you want to put them inside trash can, metal, galvanized trash can, or ammo cans, or something like that. You want to keep them isolated. So, if any of that happens, if you have a solar flare and EM Pulse is powerful enough to take down the power grid, this stuff, cell phones, internet, everything's going to go away. Now, we all know that the millennials, the kids these days, can't wipe their asses without Google. And I'm not going to help them. It's not going to happen. But I'm more worried about them than I am anything else, because they'll become animals and walk around like zombies and stuff. But anyhow, if you have an impulse, all that stuff's going to go away. The power companies went before Congress a few years ago and said that this could happen, and we don't have the facilities and the equipment to repair if this stuff happens, and we need help. And Congress just laughed at them. But I'm out of breath. But you're going to need communications. And I know I've talked about frequencies, radio frequencies, where you could contact other off-grid people. I found a list, and I will add it to the end of this video. The list is of radio frequencies that are kind of consensusly used. I don't know where they got the consensus, but they're supposed to be used by off-grid preppers and stuff like that. And it was off of a prepper channel. It gave you quite a few good frequencies that could be used. Now, it doesn't mean you have to. You don't have to have a radio. You don't have to have communications. But if you need communications, if you'd like to have communications, it's a good place to go. I will add that list and a picture to the end of the video. But what you want are good radios. These are GMRS radios. If you put these inside of a ammo can, inside of a galvanized steel trash can, they're not going to get hurt. Now, one thing you want to know about radios like this is do not store them with the batteries in them. Take the batteries out. You want to keep a gajillion batteries on hand. We're running short. This is my battery drawer, but we don't have nearly enough batteries. You want to keep enough to last a lifetime. And that's a fact. If you don't have them, you're not going to have flashlights and all that stuff. These here are lithium. This is a lithium battery flashlight. And it's a really bright, really good flashlight. You plug it in and charge it up. These are pretty good flashlights, but they use batteries. I don't even know if those would survive an EM pulse, to tell you the truth. They may not. You want good quality radios. And let's go back over here to this 990. This 990 is a super cool radio. I did not think it was going to work. I was having all kinds of troubles at the beginning with noise, radio noise, and we fixed it a few weeks ago. I fixed the radio noise, so now this radio is absolutely useful. I talk on it quite a bit. I stay on 390, 3939 a lot. If anybody wants to try and contact me, I leave this on 3939. And I also do 7240, 7260, and 7272, where I set a lot. So try those frequencies. Look for Key J7AZ, Kilo Juliet 7 Alpha Zulu. That's my call sign. 14, I don't do a lot of 14, but I can. If anybody wants to try and contact me on 14, post a frequency, and I'll meet you there. I'll try and meet you there. We'll see what happens. This radio only goes to 30 megahertz, but it's a general coverage receiver, which means it'll receive AM radio and all the way up. It'll receive all the shortwave bands, all the military bands down that low and all that stuff. My car radio is at FT891. I got it for my birthday, or for Christmas. I was so happy. But it's a 891 Yaesu, and it probably would not withstand a EM pulse. It's all surface mount technology. If I suspect something is going to happen, I'll probably have to take that out of the truck and put it inside of an ammo can and drop that inside of a galvanized steel trash can. This radio is rugged, but I don't think it would withstand it because it does have some surface mount technology in it. These radios I usually keep inside of a can, but I pulled them out today. I did find that they both had the batteries in them. I left the batteries in them, but they both still work. The batteries are not dead. If your batteries die inside of a steel can or inside of a radio, they'll ruin the radio. This is an old Radio Shack radio that we got at a Hamfest for $5. And this is a good solid radio. If you take the batteries off of it and plug it in, or, well, yeah, I could leave that plugged in all the time. That would be a hard radio to kill. That's a good solid radio. These are actually made by ICOM, I do believe, and they're cool. If you go with the old ICOM 2ATs and O2ATs, you can't kill them. You can put them inside of an ammo can, leave them there, come back 5 years later, and they'll still work. CBs. A lot of people want to use CBs. These are CBs. This radio is a Unidone 980. I got it at a truck stop. Piece of shit. Don't buy it. This radio will not withstand dropping. I mean, it is so pitiful. This is a Cobra 29 LTD Classic. It's an older one. It does have integrated circuits in it. It may or may not survive if I put it inside of an ammo can. This one here would have a far better chance of living in an EM pulse or a solar flare than this one would. This is a piece of shit. Another thing about radios is you want sideband. The frequencies that I found on the off-grid website that I found, they're all sideband. So you want sideband, and sideband will get you a lot more distance than AM will. It'll penetrate better. It's a better band. This is a Galaxy DX959. That is, without a doubt, hands down, the best CB radio I have ever owned. I'm probably going to try and find a way to put it back in the truck. That is a damn good CB radio, and you can do a million things with it. Doesn't have any surface mount technology. It does have ICs, so if you suspect something's going to happen, you could probably just unplug that and it'd probably live. I have an antenna tuner inside this box, but my antenna out there runs from 160 to, and I can do 6 meter on it if I want, and I get a 1-to-1 SWR all the way across the band. It's a cool antenna. I got it at Ham Radio Outlet. Now, as far as ham radio licenses go, I would suggest getting one. They're super easy to get now. All you have to do is buy the book, and I hate to say it, but you can just study the questions in the back. You get a current book, and all the questions are current, and you just study the questions. Look online, find a ham fest, and go to the ham fest, and or a club even. If you can find a club, they'll give you the test. It's so simple, it's ridiculous. Anybody can do it. 5, 6, 7-year-old kids have been doing it. So it's simple. This Canon printer, I hate printers with a passion. I think I'll build a printer launcher when I get time and see how far they'll fly. Printers are not my favorite people. Anyhow, that's off-grid communications. You know, a lot of people are saying, well, why do we need off-grid communications? Well, if you're out here and you're by yourself and you cut off your arm, you're going to have to be a really good doctor or some way to get a hold of somebody who is a doctor. And I'm not a good doctor, so I am going to probably contact somebody who can come and fix me or take me to where I can be fixed. But that's all part of off-grid, first aid kits and all that shit. But you're gonna want some good stuff. You don't want junk. This is junk. This is super good. This is so-so. Oh, what else can I say here? Make sure to have spare parts. Just make sure to have lots of spare parts. And keep them inside of a galvanized trash can. The galvanized trash can doesn't have to be grounded. It can be set in your garage or wherever, and fill it up with spare parts. Fill it up with radios. You can put the radios or whatever inside of ammo cans and put them inside of galvanized steel trash cans, and that'll really help you. You could go in when you're building your house, line it with chicken wire underneath the walls. That's what I wanted to do here, but we didn't. You line the walls with chicken wire, you've built yourself a Faraday cage around the entire house, and your chances of survival are from slim to better. I'm not saying you're not going to survive. an EM pulse, but your electronic equipment may or may not. It's a who knows how much of a chance. I'm not a big believer in EM pulse. I do know that power lines and stuff act like antennas. You have a huge magnetic wave come through. They generate electricity when they hit, and it overloads the power lines and things. It happened in New York. It happened in Canada. It's happened a number of times. Oh, there went a real idiot. But anyhow, it's not a matter of if it happens, it's a matter of when. We're in a solar minimum right now, and that means things are supposed to get cooler. There's no solar activity. Very little anyhow. There was a flare last week, I think, and it was a big flare. I mean, I was hearing radio signals in my truck that I don't normally hear. My weather station out there is built around an O2 AT, and I don't expect it to get hurt if something happens. I really don't. You want to build a good antenna system. I know we've been out to my antenna several times, but it's just a long wire. And then I'm working on a different antenna system also. I want to have a spare. Now, Alamogordo is home of missile range and all that stuff. If the Russians or whoever dropped a Tsar bomb, that's a 100 million megaton bomb, all these windows will get busted out. That's for sure. But the house will most likely survive. I don't know if my radio equipment will survive or not, but I don't think it'll blow down that antenna system out there. I'm rambling, I think. I have got a video of Bob that I'm going to add to the end of this, and a video after that of an airplane, and it's going to make for a little bit of a long video, but I will also, right in between everything, I will add a picture of that frequency list. You can pause this video or whatever and do a print screen or something like that to get a copy of that. But I don't even know where I got it, but I think the what is that? I think the website name is on the list. So you can go to that website and check it out. Anyhow, I'm going to get this published. I'm rambling. I hate it when I ramble, don't you? So, back to work. Baby. Slow down. I don't know if you can see it or not. Doing whatever it is the jets do. Been hearing them all day. There's one flew probably maybe 800 feet, about a quarter mile away that direction just a little bit ago. Sheldon's out there picking a cactus out of his ass. Oh yeah, I gotta put this thing back, don't I? I swept off the porch so I could walk in there without dragging stuff. Just now getting to where I can hear them. I don't know if you can hear that or not. You hear the rumble. Ham radio is on and they're loud hiss, so you may not be able to hear it. Waiting for the jackalope net to start, or whatever you call it. Whoops. You want to come in? Sheldon, come on.